organic marketing is you. Once you've done the work of deciding who you are, what you stand for, what your company is going to be offering and sharing with the world, the rest of the organic marketing process, wouldn't you say, Al, is about telling your story. It's about defining who you're going to tell your story to, in what way will they best receive it, and going through all the rest of the pieces that really help to tie it together. So organic marketing is really about telling your story.
It's getting clear on who you are and then being able to share that with people. That's where the online world, just when you look at it from that perspective, the online world makes so much sense, because there's no easier place in the world than online to tell your story.
And I bet you have some stories about that.
And I've got all kinds of stories about that. But what happened for us, because we had this experience, the Insights experience, which really its initial intent was to help business owners help each other solve problems and all of that, and that was the core of the idea. Wouldn't you say it was for a while considered like a social media firm? It seemed like a lot of what we did was put on boot camps and help people teach social media and go out and give presentations, and we did a bunch of CDs we put on Amazon, and we did all this social media stuff. So having had that experience, that was our education to reapply and redefine marketing in an online and offline world for us.
We became really good storytellers for our message, and as we were helping other people define and craft their messages, we were learning all of the best practices, all of the ways that were really effective and authentic in telling stories.
Well, it goes back to those early days when we first opened the doors of Insights. Okay, now we're in business, what do? We had no idea. But we had to tell people something, so we would go out to events and we'd have to tell. Well, as we told the stories, we built the idea of what the company was. So it was through us telling stories about taking this crazy journey, it actually defined what the company would be. This is no different. It's just that now we have a company, we have a thing, and now we have to tell the stories that engage people. And that's where learning to do it online is so powerful, which, again, you allude to me having a lot of stories of people having watched their stuff online, and then it's crazy. I don't know how many times now people have said, oh, I feel like a movie star is in my house, or I feel like, just because online they already know me. I've had people go, oh, you look just like the guy online. Well, yeah, we are. I think the key that we learned early on was to be transparent. So don't try to be something there and not be it when you get to someone's home. And instead, we're as much online the same in everything we do as we are, once we're engaged with a customer. And I think that part makes the selling process so easy, because they already know us. They know just about everything about me by the time I get there when it comes to from a company standpoint, because, as we've learned, be authentic and be transparent.
So let's talk about how a pool professional could do that. Let's define a few of the ways that somebody can look at that center square and define who they are, and then let's take it into a discussion of the rest of the squares of the tic-tac-toe board. So the center square view is really about who you are, what it is that you're going to do in the world for work or for business or for your clients. So answering a few questions about what is your core business, what's the best money-making aspect of it that you have is a really good place to start.
There's a couple different points to that. I would say first, you hit on the last one there. What's the money center? What's closest to money? Let's talk first low-hanging fruit. What's the quickest way to money? Now, if you have an established company and the basic cash flow isn't an issue, we could approach it a little bit differently. But I would say, first point is, what's the lowest hanging fruit? What's the thing that you can first make money with? And then use that as a basis. Now start asking your question, do you like it? Do you not? What about it really helps you become a better company? What doesn't? And so you start with some of that, but then I think almost important would be, what's your skill set? Just because there's low-hanging fruit, but if it doesn't fall into your skill set, is it worth doing? Because ultimately, no. For short term, maybe, but ultimately, no. So center square, and then maybe you can add to that too, is the center square is what's easiest, closest to money, especially a startup company. Again, we can differentiate between that, but a startup company would be what's closest to money, and what are my skills? What do I have as skills first, and then add on top of that kind of where we've gotten about the emotional connection to it. How do I really feel about it? Now, the flip side would be is if you have an established company that maybe you're looking for direction, or your marketing, you're seeing a decline in maybe clientele, or you're not getting the calls you used to get, or whatever it is, then you could start looking at, okay, here's my skill set, here's what I do. Now what is it that I love to do? And what do I really want to do? And then follow some of those and